This week, Mercury the Messenger moves back into analytical Virgo. All of this, an empowered moment and more in my new intuitive energy forecast for the week of Monday, September 9th through Sunday, September 15th, 2024. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from Sacred Soul Empowerment, here to do the energy forecast for the week. And for this week, we're going to be using the Late Seers Tarot by Chris Ann, and this is going to be the main message for everyone. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. But before we get into the messages of the week or the astrology of the week or even looking at our stones of choice, let's go ahead and close our eyes and do an empowered moment. So closing your eyes, just moving through consciously your awareness of your muscles, your tendons. Taking a deep breath, and as you exhale, relaxing every muscle, tendon, and cell in your body. Just letting go. Another deep breath in. And as you exhale, becoming more grounded and centered. You're feeling safe and secure and comfortable and at peace. We've had a lot of ups and downs over the last few weeks. With a lot of different energies transpiring. And now we have Mercury the Messenger this week moving back into its home sign of Virgo, offering us this opportunity to be more logical and practical, to be more discerning, and to locate solutions to different circumstances and situations in our lives. So think about a situation in your life right now that needs some sort of guidance, that needs a message or information, either from another person or from the divine. And focusing on that situation, ask your spiritual helpers of the highest vibration of light, the angels and guides of the higher ethereal realms, to come in to provide you with that information, that guidance, or the solutions that you need that are in your highest and best interest to allow you to move forward in the best possible way. So breathing in that intention, exhaling, having trust and faith that the answers or guidance will appear. Say a silent thank you to your spiritual helpers of the light. And as you take one last deep, healing, cleansing, balancing breath and exhale, you can open your eyes and return to this time and place and space. Okay, and let's get ready to look at our stones of choice. So a lot of you may see a different backdrop behind me. No more purple, we've got white. And my voice might even sound a little echoey because I just moved to a new place. It's still in the same area, Greenville, South Carolina, but it's 40 minutes away and across town. And I have yet to unpack and organize. And so there's nothing on the walls yet, which might cause a little bit of an echo. And my stones and crystals aren't unpacked either. So I had to pull these out of my jewelry box. We've got some bracelets here, some different stoned bracelets or crystal bracelets. And this first one is malachite. So malachite is known as a stone of transformation. And it helps us to reveal and heal emotional pain. And it also helps to bring ease in times of change. So that's malachite. Our second stone of choice is tiger's eye, the tiger's eye. And this is very grounding and protective and harmonizing as a stone. This helps to enhance self-confidence, and it helps us to actually attract abundance and prosperity. And then stone bracelet number 3 is rose quartz. And the rose quartz is great for self-forgiveness, self-acceptance, self-trust, and self-worth. And it helps to promote love and compassion of self, as well as love and compassion towards others. So again, your stones of choice are the malachite, the tiger's eye, and the rose quartz. And as you think about which stone bracelet of choice you want for that special message a little bit later, let's talk about the astrology for the week. So on Monday, the 9th of September, we start out with Mercury, the messenger planet that we did our meditation on. And he is in Leo to start the day. So he's in this fire sign, this passion sign, this leadership sign, this creative sign. So all of our thoughts, perceptions, ideas, and communications are centered around that Leo energy. But Mercury in Leo is going to be in an inconjunct to Pluto, planet of death and rebirth, transformation and regeneration, the planet that rules power and empowerment, which has recently retrograded back into Capricorn. So here we've got the last leg of the journey for Pluto in Capricorn until sometime in November. So we've got September, October, November for Pluto to help transform some of that Capricornian, authoritative, patriarchal energy. But back to the thing at hand here, we've got Mercury in conjunct Pluto. So this is going to be where we need to make some adjustments in our thinking, or we may need to make adjustments in our perceptions, or we need to make adjustments in how we're communicating to others. So these signs that Mercury and Pluto are in, fire, which is Leo, and Earth, which is Capricorn, they don't normally blend very well. So this is where the adjustments come in. And Pluto, again, and especially in Capricorn, might have that tendency to be overpowering or dominating or domineering. And so we don't want to come off with that Mercury in Leo, which also can be quite take charge, authoritative, and leadership oriented. We don't want to come off a little bit too harsh. Right after Mercury and Leo in conjuncts Pluto and Capricorn, Mercury very quickly moves into Virgo, one of the signs of the zodiac that he rules. And Virgo is an earth sign. It's a mutable earth sign. And mutable means changeable, not grounded. Kind of like a go with the flow sort of energy. But Virgo is still practical. And it is solution oriented. And it takes a look at all of the details. And so this is the place where Mercury retrograde started at 4 degrees of Virgo and retrograded back into Leo, and now it's moving back to the 0 degree point of Virgo. So it's got a few more days in its shadow to work out all the little challenges that arose during its Mercury retrograde cycle. And in fact, Mercury will be in Virgo in totality until September 26th. So before the end of this month, it's going to make another sign change. Then on Wednesday, the 11th of September, we've got Venus, planet of love, relationships, money and finances, values, as well as our sense of self-worth. And she is in relationship-oriented Libra right now, the sign of the scales. But on Wednesday, she's going to make an inconjunct, there's that inconjunct again, to Saturn. And Saturn is the lord of karma. Saturn brings up limitations and restrictions. Saturn brings delays. Saturn wants us to understand and learn something. And Saturn right now is in Pisces. Saturn takes 2.5 years to move through each sign of the zodiac. He's a little over his halfway point. but he's still going to be in Pisces for quite some time. With Venus in conjuncting Saturn, there might be some karmic circumstances that come up in our relationships, or some karmic circumstances that come up in financial matters. It might be more geared towards the relationship side of things because Venus is in the relationship sign of Libra. Now, this could be just something within ourselves where we feel fearful or insecure. It could, though, involve other people, whether it be a romantic or business or family or friendship relationship, where there's some insecurities that come up, or where there's some kind of like restrictive, kind of energies that come up. On Thursday the 12th, we've got the Sun, which is in Virgo, and it is going to be in a challenging square to Jupiter in Gemini. Now, the Sun rules how we shine our light. Right now, we're shining our light through the lens of Virgo, which is, again, that discernment, that paying attention to details, looking at all the little things, paying attention to the little things. It's about logic, it's about analysis, it's about messages and information. It's about work and service and health. And the Sun in Virgo, again, challenging Jupiter. Jupiter is about expansion. So Jupiter has that tendency to make the energy bigger. Whatever other planet it's touching, it kind of expands that energy. And sometimes it dramatizes it or makes it too big. And this is a challenging square connection with Jupiter. Jupiter's in Gemini right now until the spring of 2025 because Jupiter stays in each sign of the zodiac for about a year. And in Gemini, it's almost expanding us into all these multiple possibilities and potentials. And it can be great for networking and communication and learning something new, going back to school or just learning something on your own or even teaching. But Jupiter in Gemini, I've found so far that it's just expanding us into so many different opportunities, because Jupiter does rule opportunities or possibilities or potentials, that sometimes it brings about some confusion, because Gemini is a mutable, vacillating, not grounded sign. So we've got the Sun in Virgo, which is mutable. We've got Jupiter in Gemini, which is mutable. So the energies are kind of like all over the place. It's not grounded, it's not focused, and again, it's a challenging connection where Jupiter is just going to expand maybe anxiety, nervous energy, too many possibilities, not knowing which one is the right one for us, which decision, which direction, which choice. And it can get a little bit convoluted and a little bit overwhelming with all of that mental energy flying around. On Saturday the 14th, the Sun in Virgo again is in conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer, which is in Aries. It's been in Aries for a really long time. It's going to be in Aries for a little bit while longer. But the inconjunct again is about making some sort of adjustment. And Chiron is about healing the past wounds and traumas. And a lot of those wounds and traumas are usually a carryover from a previous lifetime energy, situation, or circumstance that's repeating itself in this lifetime. And again, the Sun is our self-identity, our individuality, our creative self-expression, our sense of self. So we're doing some healing, but there might be some difficulties that crops up in regards to having confidence and courage and being independent and being self-assured. Because sometimes Virgo, where the Sun is, can judge themselves or criticize themselves and not feel good enough or worthy enough. And here's Chiron and Aries coming along saying, let's heal that sense of self-confidence. Let's heal that sense of being courageous enough to take charge of your life and do what needs to happen for yourself. What is in your highest and best interest. And then also on Saturday the 14th, we're going to have Venus again in Libra, so the relationship planet in the relationship sign, and now she's in a positive connection to Jupiter. So Jupiter again is that planet of expansion. It's also the planet of abundance and prosperity. And this is a positive connection. Venus is also known to bring blessings. So we've got Venus that brings blessings in the relationship sign of Libra, or the sign of the scales, so we can look at it in other aspects of our life as well. And then we have Jupiter, the great benefic, the great planet of blessings in Gemini, bringing multiple potential opportunities, especially when it comes to information, messages, communication, because that's what Gemini rules. So these two, both ruling blessings of various kinds, can really bring in some wonderful potential, some wonderful magic. Now, it comes a little bit later in the day from that sun connecting to Chiron, the wounded healer. So get through that, do some healing, and then open your heart, mind, energy field to whatever blessings the universe wants to bring you. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. So the first card is the Four of Cups. Now, this is interesting because all of our planets this week, and I'm not counting the moon here, but all of the planets that we talked about are all in earth, air, and then Chiron is in fire. So there's no water planets going on, and this is the Four of Water, the Four of Cups. But even so, this is giving us the message that we might be a little stifled with our emotions. The number 4 can bring a sense of groundedness, but if you look at what this woman kind of looks like, the expression on her face, we see 3 cups that are kind of empty over here, and then there is 1 cup over here that's got something in it. It's got some water in it, right? So in this way, we're talking about feeling restricted or limited or stifled in our emotions or our emotional expression. We might feel frustrated emotionally. We might feel depressed emotionally. The Four of Cups typically speaks of not seeing the benefit or the blessing that's in front of you. And instead, we're focused on these 3 overturned and empty cups. We're focused on what's not working. We're focused on what hasn't worked out. We're focused on why we might be upset, those things and situations in our lives that are causing us despair in some way. And you can see that kind of by looking at her face. But first of all, she's not looking at this cup that is full, this blessing that she does have. She's not looking around to see the beautiful abundance and blessings, the beautiful, colorful energy that's all around her. So the Four of Cups is stating, don't get stuck in a rut. Don't get stuck in an emotional tailspin. Don't get stuck in those lower vibrational emotions. Instead, look around for what you are grateful and thankful for. Look for the blessings in your life that you do have. It might be a friend, it might be a family, it might be a project that you're working on that's going well. It could be many different things, but focus on those things that are glass half full and not looking at the empty cups over here. So let's look at the next card. And the next card is the Eight of Swords. This is also a little bit of a tough card. The sword suit is about the mind, and this I can definitely see because Mercury is highlighted this week. Jupiter in Gemini is highlighted this week. This is all mental body, mental mind, thoughts, perceptions, perspectives, communications, all of that stuff of the mental realm that's coming up. Now, the Eight of Swords, you can kind of see this image of the woman, and she's all bound. She's bound up and tied up with that string, with that rope. She's got a lot of birds around her, right? In fact, there should be 8, but I don't know that I see 8 birds, but there should be like 8 birds there, which is signifying information, communication, messages. And because there's so many, it can feel a little overwhelming. So she's even got like a blindfold of some sort on. So she's not wanting to see what's going on, it's too overwhelming. She feels stuck, she feels bound, she feels trapped in some way. The number 8 in numerology can be about power and control. It can be about empowerment versus disempowerment. So she clearly feels disempowered. Now, it's interesting that it looks as though the woman is really here and looking in the mirror. So again, this is her perception of what's going on. This is her perspective of what's going on. But in reality, as she sits here looking in the mirror, she's not bound up. She's not blindfolded. She doesn't have all of this information coming at her. I mean, that might be a perspective and a perception, but really it's a reflection of maybe what's going on within her. Like she's looking in the mirror. So this is reflecting her own internal process. Whatever's really going on out there in the real world in situations and circumstances is quite likely not what's going on within her mind, right? So this is saying to kind of just take your power back from those negative thoughts, take your power back from the negative perceptions. And if there is any kind of challenging communication with other people, take your power back or stand your ground, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the last card. Okay, we're ending on a good note, which is good because we've got that Venus trining Jupiter, that great, wonderful aspect on Saturday. This is Major Arcana 14, almost forgot, and it's the Temperance card. Okay, so temperance is about balance. Temperance, if you look up the definition of temperance, it talks about moderation and balance. That's what temperance is all about. And I like that this is an angel, right? You see the etheric angel wings here behind this man, this gentleman. So Venus trine Jupiter can be like angelic blessings coming in. The angels got your back. The angels are guiding you. The angels are, as long as you stay balanced, which again is what temperance means, stay in a place of moderation and balance, and don't go to extremes. Don't go to extremes with your emotions. Don't go to extremes with your thoughts or perceptions. Don't go to extremes in your actions. You could see this person or this angel is sitting there in a very balanced, grounded way. And usually with the temperance card, we've got like water and fire. The person, the angel, is got like a water element in one hand and a fire element in the other hand, and trying to combine the two. It's like we're combining two different things to come up with a third sort of element, to create something new. Now, it's interesting to me that this card, I guess you can kind of see where this is maybe some fire, but it almost looks like the sun and the moon, right? To me. And so the sun is, again, our ego, our essence, our vitality, how we shine our light. It's like, here I am world. And then the moon is our emotional nature and rules our subconscious, and therefore sometimes our subconscious fears and anxieties. So we're trying to like balance these two aspects of ourselves. You know, the conscious aspect, which is more of the sun, and the unconscious or subconscious aspect, which is more of the moon, or what looks like the sun and the moon to me in this picture. But again, we've got sort of like the light of spirit over the angel's head. You could maybe say it's a halo. We know this is an angel, and that if we just stay grounded and balanced within ourselves, we're going to be able to manage these two various energies and bring about or allow these blessings to come into our lives, okay? So let's go ahead and see what message you have depending on your bracelet of choice. So that first bracelet of choice was the malachite. So for the people that chose the malachite bracelet, malachite, this one's calling my attention as I open my eyes. Whoops, it's really this one. Ooh. Okay, so some of you might be experiencing some financial constraints. And I feel like that is going to be earlier in the week if it's happening for you, because that's when Venus is in conjunct Saturn, is Wednesday. So it could be as we're building up. It could be anywhere between Monday and probably Thursday. I feel like by the time we get to the weekend, we're feeling better about whatever it is that's going on. Now, instead of saying financial constraints, let's also just kind of expand that definition into resources, right? Because Venus rules our personal resources. It could be money, could be time, could be our gifts, could be referrals, could be, you know, whatever our resources are at hand, okay? So like my resources are, say, my crystals and stones. My crystal tinctures are a resource. My services on my website are a resource. So there might be something about our resources being constricted or limited, at least again in those first 3 or 4 days of the week. Don't allow it to kind of mess with your head, is how they're saying it, right? Don't allow it to get you down, because fear is going to put off a negative vibration, and that could create more of the same, right? We want to instead, this is like an empty bare cupboard, but if you look really closely, the empty bare cupboard, there's a cupboard door open here and it looks empty and bare. There's at least one thing on the shelf. There might be something on the bottom shelf too, but clearly, I know there's a glare here, there's something on that second shelf. And so again, it's look around, just like the Four of Cups, right? Look at the blessings that you do have. Look at the resources that you do have. Look at the good things that you do have in your life, because that's going to shift your perception and your perspective. And as your energy vibration shifts, you'll be able to pull in or pull out of that situation, that energy vibration, and you'll be able to pull in blessings as the energy shifts and supports that more, okay? All right, let's put that back in the deck. And for those of you that chose the Tiger's Eye, so special message for the week for the Tiger's Eye people. This one in the middle is calling my attention here. This is second chakra, Archangel Ariel. The second chakra is the sacral chakra. This, I like to call it the goddess chakra, because it rules our creative self-expression, it rules our sexuality and sensuality, it rules our passion for life. The color is orange, which is why this backdrop here with Archangel Ariel is kind of orange in nature. And so I want to say, like, all of a sudden I see just like movement. You know, it could be yoga movement, but it's like dancing movement, just like goddess dancing movement, right? Help to balance that sacral chakra by embodying the energy of the goddess, the divine feminine, right? And that can be done in so many ways. You could just take a relaxing candlelight bath with essential oils to embody the goddess. Again, you could do some slow swaying, dancing kind of to beautiful sacred music. That would embody the feminine. You could wear the color orange, right? For the sacral chakra. That would embody the feminine. So you could just meditate and call in the divine feminine. So whatever it is that you'd like to do, and of course call in Archangel Ariel, who's known as the Lioness of God, right? And she's got beautiful, like a halo of stars around her head, and she looks very calm and peaceful. And in that calmness, in that peacefulness, we settle into that divine feminine energy. So this might mean many things to many different people as far as the Archangel Ariel and the sacral chakra. There might be some things with, again, your sensuality and sexuality. When we shut off our passion for life, we shut down that sacral chakra. And we need to rebalance and open it back up for the energy to flow, for our creative self-expression to flow. In fact, doing something creative would help to open that up. And you don't even have to think of yourself as creative, but just do something creative in order to open that energy up to allow it to flow, okay? And then the last stone of choice was the rose quartz. So special message for the rose quartz people for this week. This one's calling my attention. Okay, patience, everybody. Have some patience. This is that Venus in conjuncting Saturn. Saturn's right there in the middle of the week, and Saturn is a planet where we have to have persistence, determination, and patience, because Saturn is known as a planet of delays. Sometimes he delays things, and you can see that this angel has, wings too, so obviously it is an angel. But there's a clock right there in the center of where around the solar plexus chakra, maybe just a little above, but below the heart chakra. And this is saying with that clock that whatever you're waiting for or wanting to occur or trying to manifest, that it just might take a little bit more time. Maybe it has to do with your personal health and well-being. Maybe it has to do with a project that you're working on. Maybe it has to do with something with your career. Maybe it has to do with something in a relationship. And this is just saying whatever it is, you have to have a little bit more patience for something to manifest and occur. But the fact that we've got an angel here says that you're being guided. You're being gently guided along the way. So trust and have faith. Communicate with your guardian angels. Communicate with the archangels and ask them for their assistance. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's video in my new place here. I might be moving around until I figure out where I'm going to be on a more permanent basis doing these videos, and maybe I'll just change it every week. I don't know, but right now I'm not really quite organized yet, but we're working on it. So thank you so much. Thank you for your comments, for your love, for your support. It has been, again, quite the challenging time. I've felt it as well. Moving is challenging, as I'm sure you know. And I just appreciate all of your love and good vibes and sending me, just positive intention and I send you the same positive love, light, intention, blessings, that everything in your life is going to turn out in the most beautiful and wonderful way for you. So namaste, everyone.